Okay, this is going to be a quick demonstration of the Medipics Firebase application. This is the web-based portion of the entire suite. This is where you're going to have your images sent once they're taken from the mobile device, and they'll be categorized and stored for you here. So you just sign in with the same username and password that you use on your mobile device. We'll do a couple of different accounts. From this select patient tab, you'll have all of them that come to the application or the web-based Firebase application on the internet here. So when you shoot an image, these numbers, which are the account number, the first and last initial, or last and first initial, and the date of birth, they'll show up here in this list. So we'll start with mine, account 0, Delgado, comma, Gabriel, G for me and my date of birth, and then my images will come up. And these are some relevant images of some casting that we've done in the office, as well as just some other test images, as you can see. So once you click on the images, they'll start loading underneath. And this is pretty endless. You can just keep clicking on the images, and the windows will just continue to expand beneath. So this is a great tool in your treatment rooms with your patients, because they can see exactly what was done, what was shot, and also is a great marketing tool. It demonstrates some really sophisticated ways of capturing images very quickly, and in our case we do a fair amount of cosmetic lower leg vein care, things of that nature. These sorts of patients do want to see these before and afters to demonstrate improvement, and it helps the physician to track progress of the patient's care. So in our case, we also deal with a lot of infections and do a lot of reconstructive surgery, so before and afters are very, very important to us and the patients. Patients can get more involved in this process, and I believe you look better, more sophisticated as a physician when you're able to provide this type of tool and this type of visual aid. So this is the title that comes from the mobile app. You would type this at the top of the image, and if you're shooting multiple, let's say preoperative images on a date of service, you might want to copy once you type this in once, and it can be dictated, by the way, with your keyboard microphone, and then just copy it and then repaste it over and over again. In this case, we're trying to demonstrate what's done in a ankle foot orthosis or AFO casting technique, and so we just labeled each image based on what we were trying to achieve. Now you could, of course, label directly on the image, and we'll show that in just a moment, putting up a couple of accounts. Now up here you can use the patient's name if you'd like, even though it doesn't show, to protect it and not violate HIPAA. For instance, Gabriel would be me. A couple of hits would come up, 0 and 100. The name's not demonstrated or displayed, so let's just use 100 and see what that looks like. In this instance, there are no images for that patient, so let's just go to the next one. I'm going to type another patient that we're treating. As you can see, it without completing the entire account number, it filters down to that one particular image or one particular patient. So we'll pull a couple of these up. One of the tools I wanted to show you, which I think is very helpful, obviously you're seeing the text on the screen. This is incorrect, and your mobile application will tell you you're spelling things incorrectly. So this is easy to kind of pick up on and correct with just a touch of the incorrect word, standard spell check stuff. The image compare option here, once you've got these images up, you can pan down, and then you have this slider which will allow you to go back and forth and show before and after improvement, which is very helpful. The patients can see this, you can see this, and you can see how much that's filled in from one visit to the next. You can also zoom in on any portion of these images. So there is a magnifier. Now let's pull up another patient so we can look at that. Let's see here. So in this instance, we're treating a patient for a plantar lateral ulceration. You can pull up your image list. And if you wanted to zoom in more, this patient also sadly developed an ankle injury. So let's say, for instance, you're identifying this particular lesion as maybe a melanoma. So you can blow this image up, and you can magnify over this little window. Will give you a better look at something. We're working on trying to improve the magnification even more. So if you're in dermatology or doing some kind of derm somewhere, you can actually really zoom in on these things, maybe focus in on a melanoma or some other type of squamous lesion that could be cancerous. And with the quality of the cameras today on the mobile devices, this is totally available to us. So you just close this out, and again, image compare would allow us to make comparisons between the last two selected images. So again, we can come here and see that there's improvement on that wound. That's the plantar lateral aspect of the left foot. Again, don't forget that these labels are coming from the mobile device. They can be put anywhere, and we've actually removed the silhouette from the background so you don't occlude anything over the actual integument of the patient. But there's a lot of options here. So this is going to give you a great way to organize your images and give you a way to keep them off your mobile device, which is one of the most important things. Have them categorized here, have them saved here, and have them cascaded here. So we're continuing to work daily in programming to improve the presentation and give you some options. But as it stands, it's very quick and very easy to select multiple images, and you can just keep going. So for those of you that shoot tremendous numbers of images of the same exact thing, you can just keep going here and just go up and down. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please email me.